And you like baking too, right?
Baking, I really like baking. I've done lots of things. Maybe third grade, second grade, I made a tres leches cake, a vegan tres leches
Oh,
cake.
yes, that was so good. The vegan tres leches,
It
yeah.
was like it was the best cake, best thing I've ever baked, and it's not a short process at all, because you have to like do the soaking stuff. There's a lot of steps with tres leches cakes,
Okay.
and I made that,
Yeah.
and I still have a video of it, of me making it and going through the whole entire process, because
Yeah.
it was like
A
almost
big
like a
school project. Yeah, yeah. You did a really good job with that. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Eric Taylor, BigEAstro, back with another episode of my Knowledge is Love Astrology podcast with my amazing guest, Mattias Taylor.
Hello.
Yep, hello. My son, he's 11 years old, right? You're a Leo sun sign, a Scorpio moon, and a Capricorn rising. Now, do you know your astrology placements?
I know, like, the ones that you just listed, and then I'm not too sure about my others, but if I looked at them, I could probably be like, oh, I knew that, but
Okay. So let's start off with right now. How are you enjoying? What grade are you in?
I'm in sixth grade.
Yeah. Okay. And you played this year. What'd you play?
I played tackle football
All
for
right.
the Firebirds, and we played, and we had like a score of like 5-3.
Well, but you made it to the championship,
And
right?
we made it
Semis?
to the semifinal.
Okay. And what position did you play?
I played middle linebacker.
Ooh, was that fun?
Yeah, it was really fun, and I got to do the fun stuff on the defense with the tackling and the hitting.
So, what would you say? What was the most challenging part about being on a football team in your first year or first season playing tackle football?
The thing that would be challenging to me in the most way was like I didn't have too many problems with like my skills, but it was like letting down my team. I would be like scared to take on like a main tackle or like a single tackle, because I would be worried that I wouldn't be able to tackle that person, and
Ah,
I feel like I would maybe let my team down or something like that.
okay. Well, I think you know next year not to have any fear, right? And you just got to get in there and just hit it hard. So, what's your favorite subject in sixth grade? Like, what's your favorite subject in school?
I would say my favorite subject in school right now would be social studies.
Yeah. What do you like about it?
In social studies, I like how, first of all, my teacher, she's really nice.
Okay.
And then we do like activities that we do the learning part, but then we also sometimes like add fun activities into our learning. And we'll like last Friday or last Thursday, we did this thing about Julius Caesar.
Mm.
So we're studying Rome right now, and we went up to the room upstairs, and it was my teacher's old room that she used to teach in, and they like change it and switch it up. So today we had like crime scenes.
Mm.
So we had a crime scene, and we had to like study it and see and just take different notes and answer some questions about Julius Caesar.
Okay.
Um, so I would say that makes it my favorite subject.
So you like researching or investigating history? Is
Yeah,
that interesting to you?
yeah. So sometimes I really like the stuff where you like read the documents and like take it and then note it or like answer questions with it.
That's cool. That's very, very Scorpio moon of you, right? Liking to like research and learn and investigate. That's pretty cool. So you are the youngest of your four brothers and the youngest twin. What is your perspective? Like, how do you feel being the baby in the family? Or the youngest? I don't say the baby because you're 11 now. You're a young man, right? But how do you feel like being the youngest of all your brothers? What does that role mean to you, and how do you like it?
Um, I'm gonna start with the ups, and then I have some downs.
Okay.
The one thing is I kind of like have other people to look up to sometimes,
Right.
and then I always have cause since they're more, I have a twin brother, and then I have my older brother, and it's like I can play sports with them, cause like you can't just play a sport with like a baby,
Right.
cause you just can't, and
That makes sense.
I can look up to my older brother, especially with how he's doing in football right now.
Okay.
And that is something that I can do, being the youngest.
Right.
And also being the youngest, I would say I don't have like most of the responsibility. And that kind of lets me feel like easy on myself a little. And then some of the downs are sometimes I get like picked on by my older brother.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, since he's much bigger than me and stronger than me, he'll pick on me sometimes. Or like I can't like fight back or do anything against him.
Okay.
And that's kind of the downs, but there's not much like bad things about being the youngest in your family, I'd say.
Did you ever want to have a sister, or do you enjoy having three brothers?
For me, I wouldn't really have a problem having a sister. I think it would be kind of cool because, like, having all boys sometimes gets a little boring.
Okay.
But with three brothers, when Elijah comes down, I like always have someone, since they all play football except Elijah, I have someone to play with. I have someone that I can like get along with and like roughhouse with, which I wouldn't be able to do as well if I had a sister.
That makes sense, yeah.
I think a sister would be fun, and it wouldn't be too different than a brother.
So let me ask you this. I just want to ask you like some kind of quick fire questions. It's just like a one word answer, or I'll just ask you a couple of random questions. So what's your favorite color?
My favorite color is blue.
What's your favorite food?
My favorite food would probably be like spaghetti, but I have a couple times had seafood and I really like it.
Okay, what type of seafood do you like?
I like the lobster, the crab.
Do you like when Mom makes the scallops?
Yeah,
Okay.
I love scallops.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I've had like the sausages and the potatoes with it and the corn. So I definitely like those.
Okay, what's your favorite dessert?
My favorite dessert would have to be just ice cream. I have a lot of desserts, but I'd say ice cream.
Do you have a favorite flavor of ice cream?
My favorite flavor of ice cream, if we're going basic, I'd say cookies and cream.
Oh.
But at this ice cream place that we go to as a family, we've been doing it for a while. It's Sweet Republic, and my favorite flavor is Blue Moon because it's like a blue raspberry with like with a lemony taste.
Yeah, I think I've tried it once. You like that one? That's a good one, huh? Mm-hmm. So I want to kind of go back to when you were younger. What are your, do you have any memories of when Elijah was still living here before he moved out? And do you remember when you were a baby, when Jackson was in the hospital? I know you don't remember William because you were just a newborn, but do you remember when Jackson was in the hospital or no?
I remember, so with Elijah, I kind of remember him being here because I remember sometimes we would like just play around, and I remember not briefly, but I can remember it easily out of all things with Elijah when I
Yeah.
was younger is when we had like a family movie night
Oh, yeah.
and we watched my favorite movie. I can't think of the name of it.
Was it,
And
do you like Elf? What, you're talking about at Christmas time or holiday movies or?
it was at Christmas time. It might have been Elf.
Okay.
And I remember that a lot. And then I have like a couple times when in the backyard I was taking my first steps. I remember him.
Yeah, yeah, he was there when you took a couple of steps and then you kind of fell. You were, Jackson started walking before you, but you were kind of more verbal. You were always like talking and stuff. Do you remember? So Mattias has been a comedian since he was a little boy, and it was barely almost 3 years old, and his mom and I, Alana and I, were by the refrigerator, and she was getting a tangerine, right, the cuties out, and Mattias, his nickname is Tay or Big Tay, and you said to mom at the refrigerator, you go, "Hey mom, what are you doing with that cute Tay?" And mom and I were cracking up. Do you remember that?
I kind of remember it because
Oh my
now
God, it
it's
was
like,
perfect. Perfect voice inclination. It was timing. It was so funny. Like you do kind of remember, or
because like Cute is like, I wouldn't say it's really a nickname, but whenever I think of cuties, I like say that name for them
oh, cute. Okay.
when I'm with my family. So it's kind of like something that I remember now.
Well, the way that you did it, and he's always done this, and he's just got this big personality. Jackson and Mattias have Pluto on the ascendant. So when they were little boys, they were like famous at Costco. Do you remember when you were little going to Costco with mom and you guys would be in the
In the front cart.
yeah, in the carts and stuff?
I
And
remember
talking to people and
I remember a couple times when we would get to Costco and we would like jump in the car and be like in the front seat and then at one point it got to the point where we were able to buckle up ourselves on our own.
oh.
And we would just like walk around or ride around and go to different sample people.
Oh, you love getting the samples at Costco, right?
And yeah.
He's a foodie. Tay's a celebrity chef. Well, so what's your favorite thing to cook?
My favorite thing to cook, that's a little
Well, you can mention a couple things. You don't have to say your
like
favorite.
I would say I like to cook like spaghetti, that kind of thing.
Right. But you're good with making eggs.
I like doing the eggs, the bread, like toasting bread and putting stuff on it. I'd say like.
Well, didn't you make hamburgers like a few weeks ago or something?
Oh yeah, I like making the hamburgers.
Yeah.
Because I have this like technique since we have not really a technique. We have like the stove and there's a grill on it, a built-in grill.
Yeah.
And I'll put some butter down and like fry the buns to where they're like golden, crispy brown.
So you like being creative in the kitchen. And you like baking too, right?
Baking, I really like baking. I've done lots of things. In maybe third grade, second grade, I made a tres leches cake, a vegan tres leches cake.
Oh yes, that was so good. The vegan tres leches, yeah.
It was like it was the best cake, best thing I've ever baked, and it's not a short process at all, because you have to like do the soaking stuff. There's a lot of steps with tres leches cakes.
Okay.
And I made that.
Yeah.
And I still have a video of it, of me making it and going through the whole entire process, because it was like almost
a big
like a
school project. Yeah. You did a really good job with that. So, besides playing football, are there any other sports you like to play? Because you're pretty decent at basketball, right?
So, with other sports, I'm pretty. I wouldn't say I'm the best, but I'm okay at basketball. And then I wouldn't like want to play baseball, but sometimes I like playing like wiffle ball in the backyard.
Okay.
But
what about soccer? Do you like that at all or no?
With soccer, I don't like it anymore. But when Jackson was doing soccer 4 years,
Yeah.
I would like enjoy it.
And you'd practice sometimes with the team?
And sometimes I got to practice with the team
That's pretty cool.
and stuff. And so I do like that. And then there's some like other sports that we've done in PE. Like
You like kickball, dodgeball?
I like kickball, dodgeball, of course.
Yeah.
And then we've gotten into like other sports. I wouldn't say I like them, but I wouldn't have a problem playing them. I do kind of like hockey.
Cool.
We played that.
Okay.
I wasn't bad at it. And then we do some sports that are like you wouldn't really think out of the blue to play. So we played spike ball, badminton, pickleball.
Oh wow!
And
I've never played pickleball. Was that fun?
Pickleball's fun, and because before pickleball I played badminton.
Mm-hmm.
I like badminton. I'd say it was a fun game, and with the net being so much higher and it being like tennis, it was much easier because I slowly got better at it. And then it was much easier for me to play pickleball because it's almost like a tennis with a lower net.
Yeah.
And then you're hitting just a wiffle ball back and forth.
Yeah. So just a couple of things about Mr. Mattias here. So when his brother was sick in the hospital, he kind of didn't want to go to school anymore. They were only 2 years old, so it was like pre-K. And he, Jackson, he used to say, I want to go to the hospital to see my Jaxie, and he called him my Jaxie. And it was so sweet and so, it was just really amazing just how connected they were. And you guys had told me something a few years back that you guys used to do together, and I don't know if you do it anymore, but you shared with Daddy, when we say our prayers at night, you told me, you and Jackson, that you guys have been in the same dreams together. Explain that to everybody. How did that happen, or do you guys still do it, or how did you do it, or what was that like?
So, with us being in the same dream, I'll start with how it was like. It was like, honestly, think of it like an imaginary world. Like, you can choose whatever superhero you want. You can be in, like, Willy Wonka's chocolate factory or, like, the future or old times. And it would be, like, I remember one day we were, like, I can't briefly, like, mention it off the top of my head.
That's okay.
But, like, sometimes how it would work is what we did in that day. So, like, I remember this one time we watched, in fact, I brought up Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory because we've been there before. So we watched Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory movie.
Mm-hmm.
And later that night, we were like in a dream. And we
Both of you at the same time are dreaming this?
Yeah, and
wow.
It's almost like we can just like control our dream and we can do whatever we want.
That's pretty rare and awesome.
And like it would be us two together and we could just like play around. It was almost like we were asleep, but
it felt like real life?
Yeah, it felt like still like real life.
Wow, that's really cool, buddy. So I want to kind of go back a little bit. Obviously it's 2025 now. Mattias said even like at 3 years old, always had a big heart. And he was very close to his grandmother. And his grandma, soon after he's born, wound up in a wheelchair. And he used to take her around the house when she would say, I want to go. She, called Alana, my wife, Mommy, and called me, I'm her son, Daddy. But everybody kind of knew because of the dementia that, we all knew who she was referring to and stuff like that. It was just, family talk. But she would say to Mattias sometimes, I want to see Daddy. And then you would take her down to my bedroom to come see me. Do you remember when you were 3 doing that and moving the wheelchair and all that?
Yeah, so it did start around 3 and she would ask me that. And I think it was just at the height where I could reach the bars and kind of push it. So whenever... I'm a little congested. Whenever she would ask me,
We've been dealing with family cold, so please forgive us. Yeah.
Take the wheelchair from her room down there, and I would go up this hall over here, and I would take her into Dad's room, and I would just remember her being like, when she walked into the room, she would be like, when she saw Dad, and it was funny because then Dad would react the same way, and she would just like watch the TV or like watch the baseball or basketball, football.
Whatever, yeah. She likes sports. She loves sports, yeah. Do you remember playing catch with your grandma and all that?
When I was like around 3 or 4, I remember when we went to the arcade with Mom, Dave and
Buster's?
No, Peter Piper Pizza.
Oh, okay.
Some of you guys might know that. And we got this like big yellow smiley face ball, and we would take her outside in the wheelchair, and we would like toss it around with her, and she would catch it and then throw it back.
Oh yeah, she was actually pretty good at that, right?
Mhm. And sometimes she was actually able to throw it pretty far.
Yeah.
And we would just like play in the backyard with her sometimes.
Yeah. You had some really good memories of Grandma, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you remember watching like all the movies with her and stuff? And
So when I believe it was in this room, we would put the wheelchair there and we watched some movies. I know we watched Elf with her. We watched a couple like comedy movies.
oh, you guys used to watch everything with her, yeah.
And
so many movies.
We watched like a bunch, and she would like I loved it when she would like laugh at the funny parts. She would,
yeah.
and it was just like I don't really know how to explain it. It was just like lots of joy, and it was just like peace and happiness.
A lot of great memories. So in 2020, we all kind of got a little sick with COVID, but you didn't, it was either you or Jackson didn't get sick at all. I can't remember which one. But then in 2021, obviously it came back through strong, and Grandma went to the hospital on August 27th and Daddy went in on the 29th. What were you emotionally or mentally feeling, when we both went in such a close time, and even especially on the day that I went in, because I know it was kind of intense and emotional. How were you thinking, and what were you thinking, and how were you feeling?
So the day before that, you were being told to go to the hospital, but you didn't want to like go to the hospital because you didn't want to like leave us. You wanted to make sure we were okay and like take care of us. And I remember when your heartbeat got like around 50 or something.
So yeah, it was the oxygen.
Oxygen.
So Grandma on the 27th, she got to like 88, 89, and when you're at 88, they say you should go to the emergency room. So that's what Grandma did. But then on 2 days, Daddy should have went in on that day, right? But 2 days later, and we had what they called like COVID fog. And then 2 days later, we were checking my oxygen, and then we called 911, and they came and they checked me, and Daddy was down to 56, and they were like, "How are you standing, Mr. Taylor, or talking?" Right? It's kind of like I remember we were all outside,
and then so I remember I came outside. I saw the Maricopa, like van,
the EMS truck, yeah,
the EMS truck, the ambulance, and like I saw you just standing there talking with them. They were asking you some questions, and then you told us that you would be back around like the end of October, or like
well,
start of
yeah,
November.
you guys, everybody was kind of upset, and then you guys were kind of crying, and I said, "Please don't cry, Daddy's going to be okay." And I said, "I'll see you in October," and it was August 29th. So I don't know why I said that, but I guess I was kind of right, because I didn't see you until October, right?
Yeah. So, and then, so they strapped you into the thingy. They put you in the back of the van. And then I remember a couple, like, maybe a day later or a couple hours later, we were talking to you through the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And then we watched a family movie that night, and then once we went to bed, Mom got a phone call in the middle of the night.
Well, that wasn't until September 6th.
Well, yeah, and then, so, I believe you went into your coma before September 6th, right?
No, it was September 6th. Mom got the call 11
So,
o'clock at night.
Mom got a call at 11 o'clock at night. We were all asleep, and it was, like, talking about how Dad was, like, he was, like, I can't think of the word.
Well, so
But
they said my
He
organs.
was close to dying.
Yeah, my
and his
organs were failing and death is imminent. We'll call you back in an hour. Click. And she didn't tell you guys till the next morning. Do you remember what she said or when she spoke to you, what you were thinking?
When we woke up in the morning, she told us to not cry, I believe, and like how everything would be okay. We just had to stay calm.
Mm-hmm.
And she told us that you were in a coma, and that was one of the times. And we were scared, but then part of us, we weren't like so scared because we knew that you would be okay, and we just had to trust.
Yeah. Were you guys praying?
We were praying a lot.
Yeah.
And then we would just like sometimes, I know for me, for all of us, some nights we would sleep in the room with my mom.
Yeah.
And we would just like pray. And
I was very proud of you guys. You guys were really strong and tough, and so I know Grandma had passed away on the 21st, and I know that was really hard because Dad was still sleeping. How did you feel when you found out about Grandma passing away?
so when Grandma passed away, she came back from the hospital
For one day, right?
for one day, and
it was on
then
the 10th day.
in the morning, Mom woke up early before us. As she went to go check on Grandma, she saw Grandma. She was foaming out of the mouth.
Ooh.
And then the ambulance came, they picked her up. We were woken up by like the noise and stuff, and we saw her being taken away.
Yeah.
And we thought she would be okay. We thought like they took her out of the hospital and they weren't positive that she was like ready to come out yet. That's what we thought.
Yeah.
And then we were told that she was dead, and Mom was told. And then Mom had us sit down in this room, and she sat down on the couch and told us that Grandma had passed.
Yeah.
I remember William stormed away,
Yeah.
and then me and Jackson were just crying while sitting down.
I'm so sorry I wasn't there. Yeah, that's.
And then with Dad being in the coma, when he woke up, the doctor told us like don't give him any like heavy pressure or like sadness about anything. So the doctor told us not to tell him about Grandma passing.
Right, you guys waited a little bit.
He thought Grandma was still alive.
Yeah.
And he thought everything was okay.
I did.
And he was just waiting until he came back. And then couple weeks after he was in the hospital, I think.
Well, Mom came in the room with the hospital chaplain and told me.
And they told Dad, and
it was hard.
He was really sad, of course. And
well, because I just knew she was alive. She was doing better than I was in the hospital, and as soon as I got to the hospital, I went and they took me to go see her. So, okay, Well, it was day 72 when I got transferred for 2 weeks to the rehab, and I was only able to see you guys over the phone. But do you remember that first day when you guys came to that hospital and you saw me and I got to give you guys hugs and we had some food?
So the first day they took him outside, right in the outside
Of the rehab
of the
facility.
rehab
Yeah.
facility, like just right down the street from us, and we had some breakfast or lunch,
Yeah.
and we just like talked, and we just like felt better after that, and I
Did
don't.
you what were your did you think that I would look different? Were you like almost excited to see me but also a little scared? Like what were you?
I was excited to see you. I wasn't like nervous,
Okay.
but I did think you would look really different, especially with like your beard. Oh, and then you were also much skinnier.
Well, I lost 36 pounds, mostly muscle, but just 36 pounds. It was a lot. Yeah, Daddy was, and I
So
couldn't walk yet. I was in a wheelchair, right?
so I saw that, and that was also very different. And it was just like, I believe your hair was much shorter.
Well, it was shorter than it is now, but
Yeah.
it grew while I was in coma.
And then yeah, so I kind of remember that stuff.
Yeah.
And then
Well, you guys were really brave, and Daddy was very proud of you, all three of you boys, and all four. I mean, Elijah wasn't here. So I want to find out for you, you love to swim, right?
I like to swim a
You
lot.
like the pool, you like the ocean.
I like the cold. Like
What
I
do
don't
you
like
put,
the cold, but
but what do you prefer? You like swimming in a pool or an ocean?
ocean for sure.
Yeah.
Cause with me, like the pool, I like it, but the ocean is just the vibe is different. I like having my feet in the sand.
Oh, yeah. So what did you like better, the beach in San Diego or down in Texas in Galveston?
For me, I would say I did like the beach in San Diego a lot, but it was crowded a lot.
Yeah.
But then in Texas, I did like it because I remember when me and Jackson and William, we like all buried ourselves in the sand, each one of us. And like, I remember Jackson, we buried him in the wrong place. And then when he was buried in the sand, what I believe is, or what I remember is the water like ran over him. And then we started like digging him out. And he was like wiggling and stuff.
So, is there a favorite place that we've been to that you like? Like, did you like San Diego, Texas, Colorado?
I would probably say I feel like I have most memories at San Diego. I don't have much memories of Colorado.
Okay, yeah.
But Texas and San Diego, I remember.
Colorado, you were kind of young.
But
Colorado, you were
for
kinda young.
San Diego, I just really liked it the most because with the hotel that we stayed in,
Oh, that was nice.
they
yeah.
had like the seals and stuff.
Yeah.
There was like a show with the seals, and they were squirting out the water and like
Oh,
doing
yeah.
their
I
tricks
remember
and
that.
stuff.
Yeah. And we went to SeaWorld. That was so much fun.
And yeah, and then at SeaWorld, crazy story. So we're walking by, and then I think it was either William or Jackson, and they're like, we're walking, and then we see this guy with his daughters, and then we're like, that's Steph Curry. And,
Oh, yeah. When we saw Steph Curry. Yeah, that's right.
and then we saw Steph Curry. We searched him up just to make sure, like, that was his face. And I don't remember.
Well, remember, we kind of realized that it had to have been someone and thought it was definitely him because he had like sort of security guards around him, right?
Yeah. And then I also remember like a big memory of
Was that at SeaWorld or the San Diego Zoo?
SeaWorld.
Okay.
Because I remember when I think it was Jackson who got it, but it was just like it was this big orca stuffed animal.
Oh, yeah.
orca? No, it was a penguin, a
Yeah,
giant
the
penguin,
giant penguin,
and then
yes.
we got some pictures with like an orca.
Yeah, Jackson loved the penguin. So, okay, so as we get ready to wind down, what do you like about like when we have like I know you love family game night, family movie night, and but you also are pretty good and pretty spiritual yourself. You like when we did during the pandemic family yoga, and you like when we like do the sound bowls and meditate, right? How do you like that?
For me, when we got our sound bowls, I really liked it because I just like, for me, it was almost like drums that weren't as like the rock and like crazy kind. It was more like a drum, kind of more peaceful. And I kind of liked how I could just like tune it the right way.
Ah,
Because I'm not the best at drums with the beats, because
okay,
I'm not always the best with my beats.
okay.
But with the sound drums, I was always very good at like doing the tuning right and like kind of making a like song beat or something.
Yeah. Now, do you have a favorite song or a favorite artist? And when Mattias was young, he used to love to play Fortnite, and he would do freestyle rhymes while he was playing. And he was so good, but it was so funny. He'd be rhyming for like 20 minutes straight. Do you remember that when you were like 4 or
So
5 years old, or
so I believe it was when I was like around
5 or 6, maybe? Yeah.
and I used to play in my dad's room, so I would play in there the game, and I would like be rapping, and he might have a couple of them on recording,
Yeah, somewhere.
and I would just like rap and rhyme, and especially with my dad, since he likes the rhyming, and he's done rapping and he freestyling. I know I kind of get it from him,
Yeah,
and sometimes we've like rhymed along or like sung along.
yeah. So, do you have a favorite song or a favorite hip hop artist, or who, do you have any like favorite artists that you like?
I don't. That's hard because I don't really like. I like a bunch of artists,
Okay.
or like I like a bunch of songs. I meant,
Right.
but like I don't like the artist. I do like Tyler the Creator, Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
I like a couple Drake songs. And then there's like I like SZA, and then other people.
Now you love the Black Panther soundtrack, right? And that movie, that was
Oh yeah,
right.
with,
And do you like all the you loved all the Marvel movies, right? Do you have a favorite of all those?
I would say. Oh, I can't think of the name.
Was it Endgame or
Yeah, Marvel
or Infinity?
Endgame.
Okay.
No, Infinity.
Yeah,
Infinity.
that was a good one.
And that one, I remember when we got it, we bought it, and right when we bought it, we sat down that night and we watched it,
Yeah.
and it was like the best Marvel movie I've watched.
Yeah. And then we saw Black Panther in the theater too, just like that one. But then when we got it at home at DVD, we watched it over and over. Yeah, that was good times and stuff. So okay, so right now, are there any closing messages or anything that you would like to say to the audience? Any messages of hope or inspiration? Now, what does Always Daddy tell you guys about what? Like repetition is what?
Is the key to ownership.
And what do I tell you about discipline?
Discipline. Oh, wait, I know this one. Can't think of the word.
Well, discipline is love. I always say that.
And then
And I always tell you what belongs on the floor.
carpet and tile.
All right.
And then
But I always tell you guys, right? When we put in the hard work, right? That's how
Like-
the key to success, right?
yeah, and then sometimes you'll say work hard, play hard.
Yeah. Work hard, work hard. You gotta say work hard twice.
Yeah.
Work hard, then play hard.
And then
Because then you earn the play, right? If you get all your work done in school And you and your brothers, you guys are all really, really smart. But that's just the thing about applying ourselves all the time, right? So, do you want to say like a closing message to the audience or anything about, that's like a positive message for the collective?
Um, I couldn't really. If I had to say one, I'd just say like, don't give up and just like keep on pushing.
Yeah. And
'Cause
family and love is pretty important too, right?
and like just trusting in your family and trusting in God
Yeah.
and just
Very
not
important.
you just don't stop and just like have repetition because eventually you'll get it, or when you have your discipline you'll make something.
Do you have who's your favorite football team?
My favorite football team, some people will disrespect this, but my favorite football team is the Chiefs.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. That's great. Do you have a favorite basketball team or any other sports like a
For
favorite team?
me, a favorite basketball team when I was younger, I really liked the Celtics because of their like logo.
Okay.
That was the same thing with me in football. I really liked the Panthers because when we would go to the zoo, I would always see the Black Panthers there.
Okay.
And then I also like Panthers.
But you've been a Chiefs fan for like the last 3 or 4 years now, right?
Yeah, 4 years.
4 years.
And
And who's your favorite Chief?
my favorite Chief, it was Patrick Mahomes, but I kind of like some of the receivers now. I'd probably say, even though he's kind of like iffy with it, I'd say Rashi.
No. Don't pay attention to your brother. You like who? Rashid Rice?
Yeah,
Or
Rashid
Xavier
Rice,
Worthy?
'cause-
Which one do you like more?
Well, I like Rashid Rice more. I feel like Xavier Worthy, he really tried hard this season. He didn't reach his like max potential,
Okay.
but
So you think he's gonna have a better second season?
I think he's gonna have a better second season for sure. When Rashid Rice comes to play with him, I think they're gonna be like an unstoppable duo.
Yeah, if he's
Because
healthy, yeah.
Rashid Rice still has some speed with him.
Yeah, no, definitely. So, okay, well, this was so much fun. And, do you get the Leo energy? Like you and your brother, you guys are always up at the sunshine, and you guys have like Leos have a ton of energy. And do you kind of feel that because you guys are also both very creative? These are all archetypes of the Leo energy. Do you feel that? Or does it like resonate or make sense to you?
It resonates and makes sense, but I also feel it. I'd say I feel like once I start playing, I have a lot of energy. But then I'm also kind of like my mom, where
Oh yeah, when you get
once
tired,
I'm tired,
yeah. Oh,
I'm
good.
tired, and you're like, I'm rough. You can't like just wake me up.
Yeah,
and
once you're out, try to wake you up
he
at
can
night.
tell you for
Oh,
sure.
Matthias is, don't touch me, it's really funny. But yeah, and I think that, with Pluto in your second house in Aquarius for the next 20 years, I think you guys are going to really, that'll take you up to about 31 years old, man. That's going to be getting into the second house, is how you earn money. So it's going to be extremely transformative, and you're going to have a lot of power and magnetic energy. Are there any ideas of or thoughts or dreams of what you may want to be when you grow up?
So my dream is for sure being an NFL player,
Okay.
but I'm not gonna say it's not gonna happen, but I'm prepared that it probably won't because the chances are really high.
Well, yeah, you never know.
So I'd say
So what would be the backup plan, the backup job?
the backup plan. I want to own my own business. So
Ah,
I'd either be a doctor, or for like owning my own business, I don't really know what my idea was. Like I've had like two different business ideas to do when I'm younger,
uh-huh.
like around this age, once I'm able to get into like the work kind of.
You got to get 14, right? 14, 15 to work, yeah. You like cooking? Would it be anything around restaurants or being a chef?
Thinking, I have a couple names for my like future businesses that I would do. So one of them was Tay's Treats. I would like make treats and like ship them out. Okay. And then my second one was Tay's Toys. It was for like kids with ADHD.
Oh, making toys for like special needs kids?
For like special needs, or like if you just have a rough time like focusing.
Okay, that's really nice.
Like making cool fidget toys, or like those toys where like just like squish balls, or like fidget like
the fidget spinners you guys used to play with.
Fidget spinners, different things like that. Okay. Like making cool toys.
All right. Well, listen, this was so much fun. But as we wrap up, I gotta say one funny story about Tay, or two funny stories. So one time he got very irritated with me, and he was yelling at me because I did a freestyle rhyme talking about the superheroes, and I called the Hulk a bulk of trash and all that stuff. And Mattias got pretty irritated at Dad, and it's a funny video that I have. But do you remember? You, Mom, and I don't know who else, everybody left the house, and it was just me, you, and Grandma at home. And you may have been about 3, and you said to me, you called me a chicken monkey. Do you remember that?
So, I don't really know what we were like talking about at the moment, but I remember calling you a chicken monkey, and now it's like this thingy that I don't think I'll like ever forget.
Well, and then I said, "You're funny, Taser." And you were like, "No, you funny, Daddy, you chicken monkey."
And then I believe it was either Nana Eva or you that I called a blueberry.
Oh, you called Nana Eva a blueberry, and she still remembers that to this day. She loves it.
And
this is my grandfather's wife, and she's really awesome to the boys, and just really great. She lives all the way down in Virginia, so we don't get to see her. We just talk over the phone. But yeah, you called her a blueberry. I remember that. So.
And yeah.
Well, this was fun, buddy. Thank you very much, sir. It was nice to have you on the Knowledge is Love Astrology podcast. Mm-hmm. And Scorpio Moon, the Leo, and the Capricorn. And now, see, having the sun in the 8th house, that really speaks to your dad, right? Dad being astrology in the 8th house deals with like hidden knowledge and ancient knowledge. So that kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So, all right, you guys. This is Mr. Mattias Taylor. And you know what? Mattias chose his name from the womb. Alana and I were thinking about names for the boys, and when we knew each twin where they were, Jackson and Mattias, and when she said his name Mattias, he kicked. And then she went back and said some other names and nothing happened. And then she went back to Mattias, which is a derivative of Matthew, means a gift or offering to God. And then we kind of named him after my father, his middle name and all that. But he chose his name because when she said it again, he kicked a second time. And then I think we did it a third time for confirmation. And every time we said Mattias, he kicked. So you really wanted that name, you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this was fun. And thank you guys for watching my Knowledge is Love Astrology podcast, episode 310 for Big Tay.
Mm-hmm. All right. And I'm sure you guys will see me in the future helping out with some different lives and that stuff.
Yeah, you've been a real big helper with that, yeah? He used to also do some promo videos for telling people to come to Coffee Talk or birth chart sales. Remember you did some videos back in the days with that. We'll have to do some more.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Thanks for watching. Say bye.
Bye.
Bye.